everybody, I'm Vasel. Welcome to the best family games of 2024. Games that necessarily might not be like the heavy strategy games, but games that are really good. There's a lot of great family games out there. This is a category that I particularly enjoy, not because I have a family who I play games with teenagers and kids, but I like just these kind of games because of the game someone's visiting. These are the kind of games I might bring out for them. There was a lot of good ones that came out this year. These happen to be my 10 favorites. Number 10, Happy Home from Alley Cat Games. This is a game in which you are, well, putting furniture in your house. You're doing this by drafting cards. A pretty simple game, a mechanism, I call it the ratchet mechanism, where you're moving around and grabbing a card. You can go as far as you want, but the person who's in back can move first. So that person will get maybe more things, but you can always grab, if you go farther, you'll get that piece of furniture you want. Once you grab the card, you find the matching polyomino tile and put it in your house. And then you get points for various things. You want to have matching furniture across your house. You want to have rooms filled with different furniture. I find that to be a theme that a lot of people like doing. It's a simple, easy game to play. Happy Home. My number 9 is Flip 7 from the Op. Flip 7 on the box cover says the greatest card game ever made. That's not quite true. It's number 9 on this list after all, but it is a solid press your luck style game. In this game, you're going to deal people cards on their turn. These cards are numbered from 1 to 12. There's 12 12s, 11 11. Each card is worth points. You can stop anytime you want and take those points. But if you get 2 cards that are the same number dealt to, you bust and get nothing. Then you throw in a few special cards and a couple extra things that are in there. And if you get 7 different cards, you get a bonus points. The first person to score 200 points is the winner, and that's pretty much it. It's an easy, simple game to play, a lot of fun. Flip 7. Number 8 is charcuterie. This is a word a lot of people probably don't use very often. You'll be like, bring out the snack tray. But charcuterie sounds more fancy. And in this game, you're making a board and you're going to be basically I split, you choose, where you'll take a bunch of cards and split them into groups, and then everyone else picks first, and then you pick last if you're the one who split them. You take these and put them on your board, and you can put them any way you want. Put the meats next to the cheeses. Put the dips near the crackers. Put the grapes all together, or whatever. There's going to be different rules each time on how you're supposed to put everything on your plate, but it's a visually stunning game. If you're someone who loves snacks like I do, that part is fun, but the game mechanism, the whole I split, you choose, we've been doing this since we were 10 and we had to fight over that piece of cake. That's charcuterie. Number 7 is Gnome Hollow. Gnome Hollow is a game in which you are building little rings in your garden to attract gnomes. Well, you have your gnomes, you're actually running them around and collecting mushrooms. And these mushrooms you'll turn in for points. This is a game that if you know people who like Carcassonne, that tile laying game, this game has a lot of similarities to that, but also has some fun visuals, and you get to build these rings, and the bigger the ring, the more bonuses you get, but the smaller the ring, the faster you'll finish them, and get these flowers, which you can turn, these mushrooms you can turn into the market. You're also collecting flowers. So it's the theme has that cozy-esque nature to it, but it also just gives you a lot of fun strategic options too. That is Gnome Hollow, also from the Op. Number 6 is Let's Go to Japan. Have you ever planned a trip to Japan? I have not. Actually, I have at one point, but I didn't do it to the extent in this game where you are playing. The game is going to be you playing a bunch of cards and then scoring at the end of the game. In fact, the scoring of this game is a good chunk of the time of the game because the rest of it is just drafting again. You get some cards, you pick some to keep, you'll pass the rest to one of your neighbors, and then they're going to pick from these cards. And you're going to try to build, over the course of 6 days, a nice trip. And you'll get, cards will give you points in different ways. Some cards match. You need to rest occasionally. You're going back and forth between 2 major cities in Japan. You don't want to have to use the train too much if you can help it, because you'll lose points. You're spending too much money. You're trying to avoid stress and go to places that reduce your stress. And there's a lot of different factors going on, but it's not particularly complex to play. And when you're done, it actually is a trip you could take because all the spots it shows are real. So that's Let's Go to Japan from AEG. My number 5 is Cities from De Beers. Cities is a game in which You are building up a city in front of you with skyscrapers, and it's a game in which you are picking from 4 different rows. You can pick more tiles, make your city bigger. You can pick building blocks to put in your city. You can pick scoring cards. And so the first person to pick in a row is going to get the best part of that row, but I might pick the row that gives me parks and gardens that I can stick in my area. And then I really want this row first. And so there's a nice back and forth tension, and all the cities do different things. It has more strategy than you might think, but easy to pick up and teach. That's Cities from Devere Games. Number 4 from Allian Games, from designer Christian Emerson Osby, a designer I like a lot, we have Gardlings. Gardlings is another push your luck game in which you are pulling tiles from a bag and placing them in front of you, and you are trying to match these little gems together. You match enough together, you'll be able to buy better tiles. If you get 20 together, you win the game. And so each tile lets you make more connections. The problem is when you're pulling them from the bag, some tiles have 1 or 2 gnomes on them. If you get 5 gnomes, you bust. And so you don't, or more than 5 gnomes, you bust. You don't want to do that, so you can stop pulling from the bag anytime you want. Doesn't take you out of the game, though. You'll still get some extra tiles, some pity pig tiles, and some money that you can spend to buy more. Simple, fun, and engaging. My number 4, Gardlings. Number 3 is Wrath of Fire Mountain from Game Right Games designer Eric Lang. Wrath of Fire Mountain is a game in which you are cavemen and fighting over control of different lands that are shifting. If you've ever played other games from Game Right, like Forbidden Desert, this is going to feel a little similar to that. But this also feels similar to many big giant games like Blood Rage and games like that, but condensed smaller. Here I have little cavemen running around, and I can even get dinosaurs to come around and help me with special abilities as I try to control different regions, as those regions often will shift and swing. For how small the box is, or the tin is, the components are nice, and it provides a bigger experience than you might think in a very quick amount of time to play. So that is Wrath of Fire Mountain, my number 3. Number 2 is Stickers. Stickers is a game about, well, collecting stickers. And in this game, it's a card game. It's a legacy game where each game of it you play, more stickers and more rules might get added. But unlike many other legacy games, this one will continue on after the game, after you finish all the stickers. It's still a good card game. My kids were enthralled with it. Very simple, where you draft some cards, you play sets. You're trying to have control of different sets in front of you of these very cute animals, but also get special abilities to let you kind of maneuver which sets are more valuable in the middle. A lot of fun. My number 2, Stickers. And my number 1 family game of 2024 is a game that I played so many times. This game is called Duck and Cover. Duck and Cover is a deck of, well, duck cards you have that are going to be numbered in front of you, and each round you have 12 cards. You're going to put these cards in front of you in a random order. One person pulls another card, they call it out 6, everyone takes their 6 and puts it on top of a duck that's next to it, or moves it somewhere else on the board. And you keep doing that. You're trying to get down to 1 stack. So you're moving the cards around and trying to cover up cards that are worth more points, because when someone does get to 1 stack, or when numbers are called that nobody has, the round ends and you get points equal there, and you just don't want points. It's so easy to play. I've taught this to so many people. This game has just been a big hit for me from Captain Games. Osama Khalafati is the designer. Duck and Cover, my number 1 family game of the year. So go check out these games. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel. These are the top 10 family games of 2024. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.